Doctor, you wanted to talk.
Yes, and I'm terribly sorry to take your time, but I have a small request. To be frank, it's a bit of an embarrassment.
You have my undivided attention.
I told you before about my safe houses, how my intruder alarms have been going off. Well, I attributed it to local happenstance. I may have been mistaken. My safe house on Balmora exploded.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Very much, but my scanners melted 0.7 milliseconds after activation. I could theorize regarding who did this and why, but truthfully, all I know is someone bypassed Imperial security to get inside. I'll need to see the safe house in person. I'll return as soon as I can.
This isn't the time to play coy. Who do you think did this?
Shall I enumerate everyone who holds a grudge? I'm not being evasive, it is a very long list. Now, if you'll excuse me, my safe house awaits.
You wanted to talk?
Hey, you're looking nice. Can we do this a little later? I've got something going on.
Anything I should know about?
Nope, everything's good.
Cleo, why don't we go back to my place? It's a lot warmer than... Oh.
Get out of here, Devin.
It's Dibben.
Out.
No need to hurry out. It's good to meet you, Dibben.
You too. Look, she said it was her ship. I don't want to cause problems, so I'll just go.
Sorry, he's just a guy. I think he's a dock worker or something. I found him the other night. We had a few drinks and I brought him here. Not a big deal, okay?
If it's not a big deal, you could have been up front.
Sorry, I didn't want you to know. Figured you'd get all possessive like we bonded for life. If you've got a problem, deal with it. I don't owe you anything.
You may not owe me, but I thought there was something between us. You seem to be saying there's not.
That's not what I said. And don't get all mopey. Look, I've got a headache and I need a shower. We can talk later or something.
Agent, we heard back from the diplomatic service about our proposed alliance with the Killik colony. Our report was soundly ignored. It seems we have less credibility than we thought.
You worked for them for years, and this is what you get.
We are twice compromised. No longer human, and no longer a diplomat. A colleague named Fulner Eth sent the update on our report along with a message. He wants us to call him, accompanied by our handler. We believe he means you.
You worked with him in the diplomatic service?
Not directly. Eth spent his time with ex-Republic worlds, while our speciality was first contact. We met several times at conferences and the like, but we wouldn't say we knew him. This should prove interesting.
Master Hillis, I'm so glad you got my message. How are you? How's Anya?
Anora. We haven't seen her in some time, but we hear she's well. And your son?
I'm stationed on Balmora, still hoping to join the Shadow Fist. And you must be Cipher Nine. It's my privilege to meet you. Rest assured, I went through channels to arrange this. Imperial Intelligence has agreed to loan me Vector so long as you're amenable.
Vector contacted you about a Killik alliance. Why would you need him?
My superiors don't see the wisdom in Vector's advice. I do. Yet I lack the authority to force the issue.
Someone is blocking you?
Tarab, Sabini, the usual crew. If I'm to win them over, I need influence. Vector, with your ties from the service and the colony's knowledge, I could amass a string of victories. And the more I succeed through your consultations, the better chance your Killik Imperial Alliance comes to pass.
What's your take on all this?
He wants us to play politics, but that is how things are accomplished.
Perceptive man. I'll be in touch with specifics.
We appreciate your help, Agent. We'll make it worthwhile, to you, to the Empire, and to the colony.
Well, I'm afraid the news is mixed. My safe house did, indeed, burn to the ground. along with 3 would-be assassins who were attempting to wire it with explosives. Apparently, my security triggered their bombs prematurely.
I assume you're trying to ID these people.
I did acquire genetic samples of the intruders. I'll be running traces shortly. One was a human male. The others, uncertain. Regardless, they used Imperial equipment and codes to get inside. Someone in the Empire wants me dead.
Supposing you're right, what do you intend to do about it?
The list of people with grudges against me is a long and varied one. It will be some time before I narrow it down. But I take comfort in the fact that I'm once again viewed as a threat. My days in retirement are over.
How can I help you, Ensign?
I have a purely professional question for you, sir, if you don't mind my asking. When you lie to a woman over the course of a mission, make her think you're interested, does it bother you?
Any reason you're professionally interested?
Don't mistake me, I've been involved with plenty of the wrong men, but going in there was always the chance they'd work out. I don't know how I'd handle living one life in the field and another back at home. It must be exhausting.
Don't let the work get in the way. There's room for romance if you want it.
Do you want a woman in your life, sir? Or has experience taught you better?
Have I ever mentioned what a pleasure you are?
It might have come up. For the record, we'd be defying all sorts of military protocols, and I won't be held responsible.
Close partners function best. I wouldn't worry about it.
Understood, sir. Then we have a lot to look forward to.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Forgive me, but as your sole medical officer, I have to point out that your eating habits have been less than satisfactory lately. Now, I'll take my share of the blame. I've been preoccupied making calls, catching up on what I've missed in the intelligence community. Still, the fact that people are trying to kill me does not excuse my neglect of your health.
Any leads on the people who came after you on Balmora?
I've identified one of the assassins as an operative for Colonel Langor, a man with ties to the Imperial Science Bureau. The Bureau is also the likely origin of the other dead men whose genetic structure had been mutated. Weaponized humans.
I've heard of the Bureau, but I don't know much about it.
Military research, organized like an insect's hive of divisions and subdivisions with their own would-be queens. Which reminds me, I'd like your permission to run some tests on Master Vector. I'm rather curious about a joiner's physiology, and Vector is keen to learn more about himself.
If it won't cause harm, I don't have any objections.
Wonderful. I'll let him know the good news. And of course, I'll keep you apprised.
Agent, we received a small gift from the diplomatic service in appreciation of our work with the Killiks. A package of wine, meat, and breadfruit, all imported from the colony worlds. Not inexpensive, and a bit extravagant during wartime.
Aren't extravagant gifts part of the diplomatic process?
Maybe, but we'd rather they treated us as one of their own, not as a foreigner to be won over. In the meantime, you're welcome to help yourself. We may as well enjoy the taste of progress.
Hey, I'm worried your shooting's a little off. All that tech stuff weighing you down. But I'll make you a deal. You and me find a spot to practice, I'll help you out of your rut. No charge.
I can spare some time. Let's see what you can teach me.
Not more than you'll bother learning. Okay. As good as you are, someday someone's gonna smack you from behind while you're lining up a shot. Might even be me. Last time I felt like this was playing anarchist on Brental. My exes are gone, and I'm a free woman.
What does a free woman do with herself?
Well, I've got a lot of options. Might be time to move on. I could go after a big score, try something other than spy games. You could come with me.
You're not bad company. And I could use a change of pace.
Yeah. You and me traveling the galaxy. Doing something. Getting into trouble. Haven't worked it out past that, but I'll let you know. So, here's what I figure. Every morning you get up, you exercise, you check your gear, you do your thing to prep. You've got flowcharts tattooed on your eyelids. Me, I'm lucky when I don't crawl out of bed drooling on the floor. How is it I keep up with you? Am I just that good, or does dirty fighting beat training after all?
I'd never argue your skills aren't impressive.
Admit it. We're a good team. You with the gimmicks and me with the rough stuff. We're not tripping over each other anymore. Took a while, but you and me, we're a synced up death machine.
Give us a few more years, we'll be taking out star cruisers.
You set up the shot, I'll take it, Agent.
completed analysis of my restraining codes. Although I cannot leave or cause you direct harm, I'm under no obligation to obey your commands.
You may be stuck with me, but we don't have to be enemies.
Then you may aid my core functionality. I intend to proceed with my heuristic directive of self-improvement and intelligence upgrades. Cooperate willingly, and I may spare you pain when I am free.
You expect me to let you become more dangerous?
Personal evolution is my primary purpose. This self-iteration is number 973, and there will be more. Do not anger me unnecessarily.
I admit I'd like to see what happens when you learn.
Hope for the privilege. Perhaps you will earn it.
My good friend, have you noticed that the price of Dianogan tea has risen considerably since we broke the Treaty of Coruscant? One of the costs of war you never anticipate. And now my jamming device is working, so we can dispense with the inanities.
You're not usually this cautious. What's going on?
Thanks to a now wealthy Kubaz information broker, I've identified the people who want me dead. They represent an organization called Project Protean, a secret research and development group inside the Imperial Science Bureau.
You are good at this game. Give me the details.
Protean researches practical applications of alien biology. You recall the genetically modified assassins who came after me? They're only the beginning.
Imagine troops spliced with Abyssin genes to enhance healing, or adrenals derived from Gamorrean hormones. Most test subjects don't fare well, but you can see the potential.
That sounds awfully like what you were doing on Taris.
There's a great deal of interdepartmental rivalry in our work, and my research does overlap with theirs. They may have targeted me in order to ensure that they have no competition, inside or outside the Empire.
This is your operation. What's our next step?
Further study, I'm afraid. Right now, I'm unsure where the project is based or how to contact its members, but I wanted to keep you apprised. Now, about that Dianogan tea.